You said you'd start tomorrow.
That was 3 years ago. 3 years ago, you told yourself you'd get in shape. You said you'd start saving money. You said you'd learn that skill, quit that habit, fix that sleep schedule, stop wasting time on your phone. You were serious about it too. You meant it. But then tomorrow came and you didn't start. You pushed it to Monday. Monday came and you pushed it to next month. Next month came and you said, new year, fresh start. That's when I'll lock in. And now here you are. Same couch, same phone in your hand, same 2 a.m. screen time, same body you don't want to look at, same bank account that makes you nervous, same goals you had in 2023 sitting untouched in a note on your phone that you haven't opened in months. You're not stupid. You know exactly what you need to do. You've known for years. But you keep choosing the version of yourself that feels good right now over the version that would actually have a life worth living. And every single day you do that, the gap between where you are and where you could have been gets wider. So let me show you what tomorrow actually costs, because I don't think you've really seen it yet. You're 22, you just finished school, or you're figuring out your next move. Doesn't matter. The point is, you've got time. Everyone tells you that. You're young, you've got time. And you believe it, because right now, time feels infinite. You wake up around noon, maybe 1 p.m. No alarm because there's nothing to wake up for. You grab your phone before your feet hit the floor, and you're already scrolling. 15 minutes turns into an hour turns into half the day. By the time you've showered and eaten, it's 4 p.m. and you've done nothing. You tell yourself you'll start the workout plan tonight, but tonight comes and you don't feel like it. You're tired, which is wild because you didn't do anything to be tired from, but the tiredness is real. It's the kind that comes from doing nothing all day. Your body doesn't know the difference between rest and rot. You scroll TikTok for 3 hours, Instagram for 2, YouTube until 3 a.m. You consume content about discipline, about getting in shape, about making money, and for a few minutes, watching that stuff makes you feel like you're actually doing something. But you're not. You're watching other people do something. There's a difference, and deep down, that difference is eating you alive. Therefore, year 1 passes. Nothing changed. But it doesn't feel that bad because you're 22. You've got time, right? You're 23 now. Same routine, same nothing, but something starts to shift. Your boys from school, some of them are getting jobs, real ones. Someone you grew up with just posted that they got promoted. Another one is in the gym now, and you can see the difference in their face, their posture, even the way they talk. They look like they're moving. You look like you're standing still, and that comparison starts to sting. Not the jealous kind where you hate them for it, the quiet kind. The kind where you're alone at night and you think, that could have been me. I had the same chance, I just didn't take it. You start making plans again. You write things down. You download the workout app. You even go to the gym once, maybe twice. But by the second week, you're back on the couch, back on the phone. The plan dies quietly, and you don't even notice the funeral because you're already distracted. Here's what's actually happening, and you need to hear this. Every time you make a plan and don't follow through, you're not just losing a day. You're training your brain to not trust you. You're teaching yourself that your own word means nothing. Therefore, the next time you say, I'll start Monday, a part of you already knows you won't. And that's the part that wins every time. Year 2 is gone. You're 24 now. And you've got time is starting to sound less like freedom and more like an excuse. 24, almost 25, and now it's not funny anymore. Your body doesn't look like it did at 21. You're softer, slower. You avoid mirrors. You avoid photos. Someone tags you in something and you untag yourself because the guy in that picture doesn't match the version of yourself you have in your head. Your money situation hasn't moved. You might be working, but you're spending everything. Nothing saved, nothing invested, nothing built. You see posts about people your age putting money into index funds, starting businesses, stacking their first 10,000, and you can't even get through a month without going to zero. The people you used to be equal with, they're not equal anymore. Not because they were smarter, not because they got lucky. They just started. That's it. They started and you didn't. And here's the part nobody tells you. The damage isn't just external. It's what's happening inside your head. 3 years of saying tomorrow and not delivering has built something in you. Shame. Quiet, constant shame. You don't talk about it. You don't post about it. But it's there every night when the screen goes dark and it's just you and your thoughts. You start to wonder if maybe you're just not the kind of person who does things. Maybe some people are built to execute and you're just not. And that thought, that right there, is the most dangerous thing tomorrow ever gave you, because it's a lie. But you've repeated it so many times, it feels like truth. So let me tell you something right now. And I'm not going to be gentle about it because gentle hasn't worked for you. You are not lazy. Lazy is a word people use when they don't understand what's actually happening. What you are is comfortable. Comfortable enough that the pain of staying the same hasn't outweighed the pain of changing. That's it. That's the whole equation. Your phone is not the problem. Your phone is the symptom. You scroll because sitting with yourself, with the silence, with the boredom, with the discomfort of doing something hard, feels unbearable. The phone is an escape hatch, and you pull it open 50, 60, 100 times a day because the alternative is being alone with the fact that you're wasting your life. And that fact hurts too much to sit with. But here's what changes everything. You don't have to fix your whole life tomorrow. You never did. That's the lie that keeps you stuck. This idea that change has to be massive and dramatic and instant, and if it's not, it doesn't count. It counts. Small counts. Ugly counts. Imperfect counts. 5 minutes counts. 1 rep counts. 1 page counts. 1 day of not lying to yourself counts. So let me give you the actual playbook. Not motivation, not a speech. The real, practical things that get a man off the couch and into his life. And I'm keeping it simple because complicated plans are just another way to procrastinate. First thing, your phone. You already know this is the problem, so stop pretending it isn't. Here's what you do. Tonight, not tomorrow, tonight. Go into your screen time settings and look at your daily average. Actually look at the number. 7 hours, 8 hours. Some of you are hitting 10. That's a full-time job of scrolling. You're working full-time for an algorithm that doesn't know your name and will never pay you. Therefore, here's the move. Delete TikTok off your phone. Not limit screen time, delete it. You can always re-download it. But the friction of having to reinstall it gives your brain just enough pause to make a different choice. Do the same with Instagram if you have to. You're not losing anything. You're getting hours back. Put your phone in a different room when you sleep. Buy a $5 alarm clock if you need to. Because what's happening right now is you reach for your phone the second you wake up, and by the time you scrolled for 30 minutes in bed, your brain is already fried. Your dopamine is already spent. Therefore, the rest of the day feels heavy and slow and impossible, not because you're lazy, but because you already used up your motivation on content that gave you nothing. Kill the phone habit first. Everything else gets easier after this. I'm serious. Second thing, you need to stop thinking about the finished version and start thinking about the starting version. You don't go to the gym because you picture an hour of suffering. You don't read because you picture finishing a whole book. You don't save money because you picture needing $10,000. Your brain sees the gap between where you are and the finished goal and it shuts down. That's not laziness, that's your brain protecting you from what it thinks is an impossible task. So trick it. Use the 2-minute rule. Whatever the thing is you keep avoiding, just do 2 minutes of it. That's it. 2 minutes. Don't want to work out? Put your shoes on. That's it. You don't even have to leave the house. Just put the shoes on. Most days, once the shoes are on, you'll do something. But even if you don't, you put the shoes on. And that broke the cycle of doing nothing. Don't want to read? Open the book. Read 1 page. Close it. Done. You read today. Don't want to deal with your money? Open your bank app, look at the number. That's it. You faced it. Therefore, tomorrow, maybe you look at it and move $20 into a savings account. Small, ugly, imperfect, doesn't matter. You moved. The point isn't the 2 minutes. The point is proving to yourself that you're the kind of person who starts. Because right now, your brain has 3 years of evidence that you're the kind of person who doesn't. You need to overwrite that. And you overwrite it with reps, not with speeches. Third thing, stop planning your life and start planning your day. You've got a note somewhere, maybe on your phone, maybe in a journal, that says something like, get fit, make money, learn a skill, be disciplined, big picture goals. And they've been sitting there for months doing absolutely nothing for you. You know why? Because a goal without a daily action is just a wish. And you've been wishing for 3 years. Here's what you do instead. Tonight, before you go to sleep, write down 3 things you're going to do tomorrow. Not 10, not a full schedule, 3. Make them specific, not work out, say 20 push-ups and a 15-minute walk at 9 a.m. Not save money, say transfer $20 to savings after breakfast. Not read, say read 5 pages of that book on my nightstand before bed. 3 things, specific, small. And when you finish all 3, you're done for the day. You won. That's a successful day. Therefore, you wake up the next day with proof that you can follow through on what you said you'd do. And that proof, not motivation, not inspiration, proof is what builds momentum. After a week of doing 3 things a day, you won't recognize the way you feel. Not because your life transformed in 7 days, but because for the first time in years, you trust yourself again. And a man who trusts himself is dangerous in the best way. Last thing, and this one sounds boring, but it's the foundation everything else breaks without. Fix your sleep. You're staying up until 3 a.m., 4 a.m., doing nothing, scrolling, watching, consuming. Then you sleep until noon or 1 p.m., and your day is already half gone before it started. You feel groggy, heavy, unmotivated, and you blame yourself for being lazy. But you're not lazy. You're exhausted. And you're exhausted because you're sleeping wrong. Here's the reality. When you go to bed late, you miss the deep sleep cycles your brain needs to recover, process, and regulate your mood. Therefore, you wake up in a fog. And in that fog, everything feels harder than it actually is. Working out feels impossible. Eating clean feels impossible. Focusing feels impossible. Not because those things are hard, but because your brain literally hasn't recovered from yesterday. So pick a bedtime, something realistic. If 10 p.m. sounds insane to you, make it midnight. Fine. But at midnight, the phone goes in the other room and you're in bed. Do this for 1 week straight and watch what happens to your energy, your mood, your willpower. It's not even close to the same person. Sleep is the cheat code that nobody talks about because it isn't sexy, but every single discipline in your life runs on it. Fix this, and the other 3 things I just told you get 10 times easier. Look, I know where you are right now, lying in bed or on the couch, phone in your hand, watching this at some hour you shouldn't be awake. And a part of you is already saying, yeah, I'll start this tomorrow. And that's exactly the voice I'm talking about. That voice has stolen 3 years from you. It'll steal 3 more if you let it, and then 3 more after that, until you're 30, 35, 40, looking back wondering where it all went, knowing the answer but not wanting to say it out loud. You don't need to change your life tonight. I'm not asking you to do that. But I am asking you to do one thing before you close this video. 1. Put the phone in another room. Set an alarm for 8 a.m. and tomorrow, not tomorrow in the way you usually mean it, actually tomorrow, do your 3 things. That's it. That's how this starts. Not with a transformation, not with a montage, with one honest day where you didn't lie to yourself. Tomorrow is today. It always was. Subscribe if you're done lying to yourself. I'll see you in the next one.